In today's episode, मैं ये book नहीं उठाने वाली थी. Imagine a robber walking up to a bank. अच्छा तो ऐसे हुआ था, पर अब देखा जाए तो वो इतनी complicated situation होती नहीं है, and between the police officer and the witness, in between ये सब भी हो रहा होता है.
You can never find somebody do it like me. I'ma turn it all the way up, cause it kamikaze. Go ahead and try, baby, you are gonna see that you'll never ever find somebody do it like me.
Hi. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about anything and everything we feel like because it's my YouTube channel. I'm blabbering, am I? Yes, I am blabbering. But nevertheless, you know what video is this? You know what? This is I Wish I Could Unread. Title. Welcome to the episode 2. In today's episode, I was literally gonna recommend entirely different book. मैं ये book नहीं उठाने वाली थी, पर जिंदगी के कुछ circumstances ने, कुछ हालातों ने, कुछ ऐसी चीजों ने मुझे suddenly इस book की तरफ direct किया और मेरी हिंदी ऐसे sound करे जैसे मैं बॉम्बे को kid हूँ. No offense to any Bombay kid, but it is what it is. तो suddenly something's happened. Sorry, I'm so distracted. Anyway, suddenly कुछ चीजें ऐसी हुई जिसकी वजह से I just got directed towards this book and I was like, oh, okay, this could be a great pick for today's episode. दिखी तो नहीं ना अभी? मत देखना, रुको. Okay. I think I read this book 2-3 years ago, definitely. Yeah, 2-3 years ago. And okay, now imagine a robber walking up to a bank to rob it, but it all goes wrong. Now that robber वो अपने आप को situation से निकालता है and then he hides in an apartment in a building and that apartment is up for sale. So people have come to view that apartment. It's apartment viewing day. And now all these people who have come to view the apartment have suddenly become his hostage. It sounds dramatic, right? It sounds like it's a criminal thriller or it's a fast-paced criminal book or something like that, right? But it's not. It's not violent. It's not dramatic like movies, but it's awkward, confused, weird kind of situation where the hostage situation is not the story at all. Now, why is it a different book than other books? Is because these bunch of people who are hostage of this bank robber, they are dealing with their own kind of situations in life, right? And so what is this book about? 6 to 7 people who are stuck together and each of them is carrying something heavy. Like, everybody is trying to figure out what something or the other in their life, as we always do. Everybody has some regret, some fear, some insecurity. And हम जैसे सबके सब कुछ ना कुछ अपनी life में उस time पे कुछ figure out कर रहे होते हैं. These people are also figuring out something or the other in their life. And that comes across as the story of this book called The Anxious People by Frederick Beckman. Mind me or pardon me if I am little low on energy today because as I said something happened before the vlog, so I'm little like मैं रो धो के आई हूँ, but as I have promised I have to be regular with this vlog, so I have to. And clearly जिस situation में मैं अभी हूँ and life goes on, these people are also in that situation, in a hostage situation, but life goes on. And why each person reacts in a specific way, why someone is cold, why someone is funny, why someone is loud, why someone is moody भी नहीं बोल सकते, but like has walls around, and what is the behavioral pattern, I must say. That's what will come across in the book, chapter by chapter. And the beautiful thing about this book is that it doesn't hit you with all big emotions, but the way you slowly read it, you slowly reveal all these feelings and you feel it. It's a kind of book where it's written very nicely, it's funny, you'll be laughing at one line and cut to you'll be holding a line and you'll be like, oh, okay, you'll sit with that line because it hits you slowly and you could relate to a lot of things in this book. Okay, why I love this book is because nothing happens in a dramatic way. Everything reveals in a very slow conversational way. Like you could think about sitting in a therapy and people are talking and that's how they reveal a lot of things about themselves, right? So in this situation also people are having conversations and that's how things come up, and that's the basic story about this book. The robbery is not the story about this book, and slowly when you read the book you'll understand every person, be it a couple who just buys apartment to feel alive or a lesbian couple who are pregnant as well and they're scared and they're trying to figure out what the situation is, or even the robber for that matter, the behavioral pattern of the robber, or the bank lady who has letter from a guy who jumped off because of some reason I won't reveal and she has it in the pocket. So these are the different situations in the book itself. Or the police officer and his son, like the father-son duo of the police officers, what's going going on in their life. One thinks crime is above kindness, in the sense that punishment is above kindness, or law is above kindness. Someone thinks kindness is above law, and all those situations keep happening in the entire book. And through the entire book, if I could show you, I kept marking lines, because as I said, there are so many lines which will hit you, and you will sit with them and you'll be like, oh, what just happened? One of the lines which I'll read, and I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes again and again, because it's been a while that I've read this book, so I freshened it up, I read it a bit, and I wrote those notes so I could talk about it, because this is one of the books I feel everybody should read, क्योंकि it's not a he she situation, anyone can pick and read it. इससे पहले जो मैं book ठाने वाली थी, वो basically was for, I think would be preferred by her more than him. So I was like, no, this has to be neutral. So I picked this book. Okay, so we're coming back to the line I was talking about. So there's a line called there's a line in this book, out of a lot of lines, this one phrase: being a parent is like becoming a hostage negotiator, but with someone who has no logic, just emotions. Imagine someone saying that in a hostage situation. Or sometimes it hurts for no reason other than the fact that our skin doesn't feel like it's ours. I also read somewhere in this book that sometimes the situations are not that complicated. We like to make it complicated in our head because we want that sense of achievement by solving that complication, and we want to feel smart. क्योंकि कई बार होता है ना, आप बैठे होते हो और आप इसके बारे में सोच रहे होते हो, बोलते हो वो अच्छा तो ऐसे हुआ था, पर अब देखा जाए तो वो इतनी complicated situation होती नहीं है. And when I read this line, I actually feel it's right, because sometimes I solve certain situations in my life and I feel so great about it, but then I realize भाई मतलब इसमें कुछ complicated था नहीं जो मैं इतना great feel कर रही हूँ. ये white और black मेरे सामने ही था. How it felt after reading this book, I won't say it changed my life entirely, but it gave me a space to pause. It gave me a space to, when you walk into a room, there could be a lot of different people who might appear what they're not. They could be going through a lot of things inside, and you would not even get to know what's happening in their life. And it's always nicer to be kind. And at the end, humans are humans. They'll be tired, they'll be anxious, they'll, at every point there's something or the other happening with a human in a particular situation, and this book is all about that. It made me, and it actually, if I look back, it made me a little softer person with other humans. Now even if I'm like, and at the end I'm also human, even if I shout at someone or I'm not being nice to someone, deep down I know about it, I'm aware about it, I kind of think before doing it. But there are situations when I lose it, because I've thought a lot about it, and being kind or nice in the situation doesn't help, so I do it. But it has made me a softer person. So if you're looking for something which is fast paced or full of plot twists, because the kind of twists you'll see in this book, I cannot talk a lot about this plot because मैं हल्का सा भी इधर उधर बोलूंगी. I can just tell you about how the book feels. तो मैं spoiler दे दूंगी, और मैं आपको spoiler नहीं देना चाहती. If you want to, and twist ऐसे नहीं आते हैं कि life changing twist in the book or something, but the situations are like, oh, this person is feeling like that, and oh, इसकी life में ये चल रहा है, oh, इसकी life में ये चल रहा है, oh, that's why ये ऐसे react कर रहा था. So when you slowly read it, you realize कि ये सब situation चल रही है, and there's a conversation also happening between, I think if I'm not wrong, between the police officer and the witness. In between ये सब भी हो रहा होता है, like the proper script की तरह. There's a situation where people are talking about it कि क्या क्या हुआ था with the police officer, and they're narrating it उस दिन, मतलब robbery के time पे और hostage situation के time पे क्या हुआ था. It's little odd. This book is very odd. It says anxious people, but it's genuinely, I mean, I won't say entirely about anxiety, because like a stupid person I thought it would be about anxiety, and I was dealing with anxiety at that moment. So sorry, I wish I could remake this vlog, because I'm so distracted today with my own thing, and anxious people feels like a home in this situation, because I am literally one of these people in this book today. Before I sign off and you go and order it, or go tomorrow to a bookstore and buy it and you read it, I would like to read something from this book. And it goes like, there are so many lines, I'll read 2 3. We give those we love nicknames because love requires a word that belongs to us alone. And that's so true. I have this habit of giving nicknames to people if I think they are gonna be something in my life. or they mean something to me. Another line is that's nothing in the world is so irresistibly contagious as laughter and good humor. And that's so true. Laughter is contagious and happiness is contagious. The truth is, it's hardly ever a complicated situation as we think, as I spoke about it, right? We just hope it is, because then we feel smarter if we can work it out in advance. This is a story about a bridge and idiots and a hostage drama and an apartment viewing. But it's also a love story. Several, in fact. And then they start reading about a love story kind of situation happening in one of the characters' life. When you're a child, you long to be an adult and decide everything for yourself. But when you are an adult, you realize that's the worst part of it. That you have to have opinions all the time. I don't want to have opinions. I don't want to think about life. I don't want to. So, you know, these are the kind of lines which comes up in the book, and while the author has tried to be, Frederick has tried to be so funny, but वो हंसते हंसते कब ऐसा ऐसा deep line बोल जाते हैं कि you'll be like, oh. So guys, if you have not read Anxious People, go pick. This is your book. Ta-da! Let's wait for the next episode of I Wish I Could Unread This. लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब, प्लीज सब्सक्राइब कर लो. मेरे सब्सक्राइबर्स नहीं बढ़ रहे, मैं मेहनत कर रही हूँ, कृपा करो मुझ पे. धन्यवाद. Press the bike and press the bell icon. Bye.
You can never find somebody do it like me. I'ma turn it all the way up, cause it kamikaze. Go ahead and try, baby, you are gonna see that you'll never ever find somebody do it like me.